God made us. He invented us. As a man invents an engine, a car is made to run on gasoline, and it won't run properly on anything else. Now, God designed the human machine to run on himself. He is the fuel our spirits were designed to burn, or the food our spirits were designed to feed on. There is no other. That is why it is no good asking God to make us happy in our own way, without bothering about religion. God cannot give us happiness and peace apart from himself, because it is not there. There is no such thing. This excerpt is from the book Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. God is attentive to every tear you have shed, to every silent plea you have made. He knows the depth of your suffering and the cries of your heart, and he is by your side, even when you feel most alone. Life can be extremely challenging at times. We all go through moments of exhaustion when our strength seems to fade and our spirits feel low. In these times, it is essential to remember that you are not alone. In Matthew 11, verse 28, it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." At the height of our battles, it can be difficult to see the light. When the weight of our problems becomes unbearable, it is easy to feel lost and lonely. Lewis says in Mere Christianity that relying on God has to begin all over again every day, as if nothing had yet been done. But in these moments, it is vital to remember a powerful truth. God sees your pain and hears your cry. God's purpose will always prevail, and his timing is always perfect. Therefore, let us trust in his divine timing and purpose, as it says in Lamentations 3:25, 26, "The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord." In 1 John 3, verse 20, we find that even when our hearts condemn us, God is greater than our hearts and knows everything. So before you lose hope, my dear brother and sister, remember that God is still reigning on his throne. He is Jehovah Nissi, Jehovah Shalom, and he is God with us. Do not lose hope yet. God is aware of your exhaustion. Just be patient and wait for him. At the right moment, the time determined by your heavenly Father, you will receive your blessings. Today I will share some essential biblical teachings about waiting on God. So prepare your hearts and minds to embrace this message. One of the most challenging aspects of being a Christian is the patience required to wait for God to answer our prayers. Lewis says in Mere Christianity, "I am sure that God keeps no one waiting unless he sees that it is good for him to wait." Every Christian has experienced this waiting period where it seems that nothing is changing. We often question why God makes us wait. However, I want to assure you that God's timing is impeccable. He is a God of order and precision, as stated in Isaiah 46:10. "I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times. What is still to come, I say. My purpose will stand, and I will do all that I please." He calls a bird of prey from the east, a man for his purpose from a distant land. This theme is repeated multiple times in the Bible. One of the most daunting challenges in life is waiting, especially when it comes to waiting on God. Many of us can relate to this feeling. You've poured out your soul in prayer and wondered, "God, why is it taking so long? Are you listening to me? Have you forgotten me? Do you care?" Maybe you're praying for relief from chronic pain, or for God to touch the heart of someone you love. In Jeremiah 33, verse 3, it says, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." Perhaps you are looking for a stable job to support your family, healing for deep emotional scars, restoration of a broken relationship, or the blessing of a life partner. Waiting can be hard, but remember, patience is a virtue. The more you pray, the more it seems there is no answer. You cling to faith and believe with all your heart, but there is no clear sign from God, no indication that He has heard you, no evidence that He is working. All you long for is a sign, any sign. Lord, show me something, anything. And yet, sometimes there is nothing but silence. So what is God doing in these moments? Why does He seem so quiet? Remember the story of Joseph in the book of Genesis. Joseph waited years, enduring betrayal by his brothers, slavery, and imprisonment. But through it all, God was with him, arranging every detail. In Genesis 50:20, Joseph reassured his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph's journey teaches us that God's timing is impeccable, even when it is not apparent to us. Like Joseph, you may feel that you are trapped in a pit or a prison, waiting for deliverance. But let me reassure you that just because God seems silent, it does not mean He is not there. God is working, even while you wait. Behind the scenes, His goodness, power, provision, and grace are in motion. He is constantly working for your good because of His deep love for you. He is a loving Father with wonderful plans for you. He desires to bless you and see you thrive. So today we will discuss some principles about waiting patiently on God and open our hearts and minds to embrace these crucial principles from the Bible. And Principle 1, God's delays are not God's denials. Lewis says in Mere Christianity, "I am sure that God keeps no one waiting unless He sees that it is good for him to wait. When you get what you want, it is always either something better or something entirely different. What we call asking for God's answer is merely the beginning of the right direction. This is the first move, not the whole." In a world that values immediate results, waiting is often seen as a waste of time. We live in a dynamic, fast-paced society where we demand quick outcomes from technology because our time is precious. Waiting seems counterproductive, as if we are missing opportunities. This period of waiting can trigger anxiety and doubt. We may start to question if something is wrong because waiting contradicts our culture of instant gratification. It is challenging to wait when uncertainty looms over us, when we are unsure of the outcome. Doubt creeps in, and we begin to question if God will come through for us. As doubt takes root, the temptation to take control increases. But here lies the danger. When we try to control things ourselves during the waiting period, things can go very wrong. Scriptures warn us that trying to manage situations on our own can lead to complications. We see this in Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight." However, when we are waiting for what seems like an eternity, when our prayers seem unanswered and time continues to pass, we are tempted to take control. Perhaps you are at this point of desperation today. You have waited, prayed, and trusted, but nothing seems to change. Doubt whispers, "What if?" And before you know it, you are tempted to abandon God, to leave your faith because He did not meet your expectations. But let me ask this: how long does God have before you decide to leave Him? How long before you end your relationship with Him because He did not deliver on your terms? Remember, God operates on His own timeline, not ours. So in the midst of waiting, resist the temptation to take control. Trust in God's perfect timing, even when it seems like time is running out. Keep your faith. Hold on to hope and understand that God is always working, even during the waiting periods. Consider the story of Lazarus in John 11. Mary and Martha sent a message to Jesus that their brother Lazarus was sick, anticipating that Jesus would come and heal him. However, Jesus delayed his visit, resulting in Lazarus' death. When Jesus finally arrived, Mary and Martha were grieving and questioned why Jesus had not come sooner.